So we've had a great evening here in Sydney tonight at the fabulous MinterEllison offices. A really rich discussion with a fabulous panel of HR and HSE experts around board expectations. So let's hand over to the panel members to find out what their key takeaways were tonight. So Gitanjali, what was your highlight and key takeaway from the discussion we had?
I think first and foremost, listening from other like-minded industry experts. It's phenomenal how much change is happening in this space and the kind of things that boards need to be aware of, regulatory as well as otherwise. The other aspect really for me is the role of HR and safety and the integration from a risk perspective.
Yep.
All the two roles, the developments coming at us from a regulatory perspective, which I mentioned earlier, as well as culturally, are quite tremendous, and I think it's an important area of focus.
Thanks very much. And look, my key takeaways of today is around there's a growing need in this area. It's not just regulators and insurers that are focused on this area, but it's also supply chain partners, it's also finance partners, and it's also investors are really looking hard at this collective area of human rights and what does better look like in this area, and making sure that the people within our supply chains are well looked after, have an opportunity for growth and performance, but ultimately have what does collective well-being look like.
Thanks, Wade. And I suppose my key takeaway is about the flow of information, ensuring that officers on the board have sufficient information to be able to fulfil their duties in relation to due diligence for safety, but also the range of other duties they have, for example, under the positive duty, under the discrimination legislation. So information is key.
My key takeaway is actually how the differences between some of our roles are actually starting to blur. So we need to know more about each other's functions, and I think the boards are expecting us to come to them with that joined up, united front as well.
I think absolutely that's one of the key reflections I have from the session, and that merging of safety, HR, tech, that you need to tell the same story to the board rather than in organisations where you can be too siloed and it becomes very confused and therefore hard for the board to make decisions.
Absolutely.